Wouldn't it be great if we could create a multi-vendor website like Amazon or eBay with WooCommerce and WordPress, or maybe a plugin? Well, this is totally possible. I'm Andrew, and in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can create a multi-vendor e-commerce website just like Amazon or eBay very easily without any prior experience. So let's get started. So we are going to use WCFM, a plugin by WC Lover, which is just awesome for creating your multi-vendor website. And what I have here is just a basic WordPress website. I haven't done anything to it. So I'm using the Astra theme. This is my homepage. I have just created an empty homepage here, and I have also installed Elementor and WooCommerce. And really there is nothing more here, so you can just follow with me. You can easily create your own setup. The theme is not really important. You can just use any kind of theme that you want. You have to have, of course, WooCommerce, and we are going to use Elementor for our pages. So here I'm just going to install the plugin. I just search for WCFM. And as you can see, there are many plugins by WC Lover. And what we are going to build actually needs 3 different plugins from WC Lovers. But these plugins are just going to work seamlessly with each other. So you really do not understand, you do not feel the difference between these plugins. They will work as a single unit for creating your online store. And I'm just going to just install WCFM Marketplace, and it will install the 2 other plugins itself. So let's just click on install now. And it's here, as you can see, it wants me to install the WCFM core, which I'm just going to do it. And now we are just ready to start building. So you get this welcome wizard, and it's really similar to WooCommerce. And let's just start doing it. You can actually skip this section and you have access to all of the settings, but let's just do it together. So I just click on let's go, and here of course we have a bunch of settings here. You want all of them to be as they are. We want WCFM full view, we want the theme header, you can just disable it, and we want the welcome box and all of these. And by default you have these 2 features off, which is just okay as it is. Then I can just click on continue. And here we have the store URL base. So your URLs would be, for example, in this case, mystore5.test/store. So this is the base of your store, but you can just change it. And the sold by is visible by default, so people can know which seller they are buying from, which is just fine. And we have some other options here. Just all of them okay. You can just change them anytime you want. Via the setting is very easy, so you don't have to worry about them. You can just click on continue. And then we have commission set up. Again, you can just change them later, but the default commission is 90%, which is insane. We want to just put it 10% here, but you can just change it. You can also change it into fixed commission, for example, $1 for each sale, or maybe percent price plus fix. So you get the person and you get the fix, but just person is just fine for me. And you have some tax setting here. And then we have withdrawal setup. So you have a bunch of options for withdrawal. You can just change them in the withdrawal section. We just ignore it. And then we want to install another plugin for vendor registration. It will just work seamlessly with this plugin, so you don't notice the difference at all. And now it's just fine. We have some color options here, pretty cool. And capabilities. So what capabilities you want to give your vendors? Of course, you do not want to give them access to the backend or the WP admin, but all of them are just fine. They can submit products, of course, publish their products, edit live products, delete products, view orders, status update, and view reports. That's fine. You probably want to give all of these capabilities to your vendors, and that's it. So that was the setup. Now we are ready to start building our multi-vendor store. So as you can see, we have a full dashboard here. There are lots of options here, but I will just explain how they work. So first of all, I just want to create a menu. So as you can see, I don't have any item in my menu here. So I can just bring my admin panel and appearance and menu. And I have a menu, but I don't have any link. So we want to have our home page here. And also, we do not need these links from WooCommerce. They just will appear as people will try to interact with WooCommerce, but you can just add them if you want to. But we want to have some newly created pages, like the dashboard page and the registration page. Not the membership. We don't want this vendor membership. We want registration. And also the dashboard page. So these two pages, if you want these two pages, they are absolutely essential for our store. So I can just add all of them to my menu and save the menu. And now if I just visit my website, you can see that we have home, we have store manager that brings this dashboard for me in the front end, and vendor registration where your vendors can register. So you probably want to visit the setting that what we do with every plugin that gives us a feeling of understanding how the plugin works. But if I just click on this WCF options, you can see that there's not much here. So actually there are no setting. That's because all of the features and options are in the front end, both for you and of course for your vendors. So for the vendors, it just makes sense because they do not have access to the backend and they should not have access to the backend. But for you also, this is the case. So you don't have any options here, but rather all of your options are in the store manager. So from now on, anything that you want to change with this plugin should be found in the store manager section. So if you just bring setting here, you can see that you have all of the settings that you saw in the wizard and much more options. So you can upload your logo, you can change the quick access icon, you can disable WCFM menu if you want to, or disable the theme header. You just have to just click on save so that they take effect. And you have withdrawal settings here that you can just change anytime. You have vendor registration setting. We will talk about some of them. But one thing that is actually annoying me is that this is not full width, and this is not something beautiful. This is not something what we want. So it totally depends on your theme. You usually have some width setting in your theme that should be set into full width so that you get the plugin in full width and you offer seamless experience to your users. In this case, you do not have it. And if I just bring global and container in Astra, we have some settings here, but they don't seem to work. So even if I put it into its maximum value, we still have this tiny gap here. So because I cannot enter any larger number. Maybe your theme does solve it, maybe it does not. So I'm just going to add a very small CSS for Astra to solve this gap here, because if I just publish it and view it, so we want a store manager, we still have this gap, and I actually just much larger. So I have just one line of CSS. It just works with anything. It's actually targeting the element of this plugin, and we are just going to enter it in the customizer into the quick CSS part. So I can just bring additional CSS, sorry, not quick CSS, but then I can just paste the code. Here is actually setting the max width of the WCFM main container into 100%. It's just a basic CSS code here, and with some themes you probably do not need it. And Okay, we still have some problems here, so let's just bring customizer again. So the CSS is just fine, it's working, but in the global and in the container, we have full width contain. I should change it into full width stretched. And now we have it. That's super cool and fine. So most of the time your theme can help you, but again, in this case, if I just comment this code out, we get this gap, which we do not want, but so we need this code here. And now it's just ready. We have this full with straight dashboard. This is just very nice. And of course, we have everything here. So you might ask, okay, how is the dashboard for the vendors? And let's just try it out. So we are just ready to just take a look at it. Before getting to it, I just want to change my permalinks into post name, which is just much more user friendly. So just put it into post name and save it. And now it's just much better. And now I have to open this website, of course, in an incognito window or a private window, because I'm just logged in and just knows that I'm the administrator of the full website and it's just giving me full capabilities. But if a random user, a stranger, just visits your website and then clicks on this store manager, of course, they have to log in. They cannot see anything. But before they are able to log in, they have to, of course, register. And this is the registration box. And these are the default fields. Of course, you can just add any field that you want. So probably you want to have more strict methods of registration. So you can just stop spammers. So by default, you have email, store name, password, and confirm password. And this is just fine for testing. So let's just add a sample user here, a random dummy user. So my email. This is our user, and the store name would be, let's just call it blue. So we have store blue, and it's actually checking to see if the name is available. That's super cool. So it's just doing a live check here, and it just says that our name is available. Super cool. And now I can just enter my password here, or the user will enter his or her password. So they can just click on register, and now they would be facing this store setup wizard, just like what we have. That's super fine. And by the way, you get your website name here, and they can just click on let's go or not right now. And the setup is very similar to what we have, but of course made for the actual vendor. So they have to just upload a logo or their banner. Let's just do it quickly. So let's say a user want to come here and they can just upload their logo there. And also they can have a banner for a shop page, which is super nice and cool. Like this, and they have their name and address, and super cool. Also, they can just set up a payment method. They can just either use PayPal or bank transfer, and for the PayPal, they just have to enter their email address here. Then they can just enter their shipping policies. So there will be displayed for the users in the shop page, so they can enter the shipping policy and the refund policy and cancellation policy. And then they can just enter their support setup, so it can be different from the actual address of the owner here. And they have some SEO features, which is super cool. So they can set up meta keywords or meta description or SEO title for their shop page. They can also link their Facebook account or Twitter account. Super cool. And also some other social setup. And they're just done. So they can just hit the let's go to the dashboard icon, they have this logo there, super beautiful, and you get, or they get, a very similar dashboard to yours, but of course with a much limited options. So if they bring setting, they can only control their own setting, and that's much less features here, but they can control their banner or mobile banner or name or email. Super fine. They're just very easy and intuitive. And they also can add products. So here in the home, they can see their sale. You can see the sale for all users, but users can only see sales for themselves. They can see their space, how much space they're using, and they have a full media library. Super cool. They can publish articles, they can add products, of course. They can see the payments here. They can generate coupons there. They can see the customers. They have their ledger book, reviews, add to my store. So they can add to their catalog, and reports, and of course setting and logout. So super nice. And if they just click here on the logo on my store, this is the page that people can see. So this is the actual page of the vendor. They have logo, we have the star, we have email, name, and search, and also products, about, policies, and reviews. Super cool. And we can see the actual URL. So it's /store and / the name of the vendor, and that should be unique, of course. That's super cool. And now let's just add products and see how they can actually have their own products. So they just have to bring products. So they can click on add new product, and then they have this page which is very similar to WooCommerce. So they can either choose similar product or variable product or group product or external affiliate product, just like WooCommerce. And then product title, they can also sell downloadable or virtual products, which is super cool. And then they can just call it, let's just add a shirt, or maybe shirt 1, and then the price and the discount price, and also short description and long description, just like WooCommerce. And everything here, they can have linked products, upsell products, cross-sell products, or attributes, or shipping. Super awesome. And let's just add the image here. And now they can also select categories or tags, and then they can just click on submit, and we get this message, and it's just actually submitted. So if they just bring products, you can see that we have our product here, and of course we can just view it in the actual store. So this is what people can see. So they can actually order the product, and we have the store here, which they can click on it, and it will just bring the store page, the vendor page. Super cool. So everything else will just work like ordinary WooCommerce. You can use any kind of WooCommerce plugin that you want, and that's super cool because it's not working separately from WooCommerce. So here we have view cart, and then any plugin that is used for customizing WooCommerce can be used here. So you get a very powerful store, and that's super nice. So back to our admin panel. Now, of course, we should be able to see the actual vendor and his products. So if I just click on Store Manager and Products, of course, we have one product here, and you would be able to see all the products from all vendors here, and also the number of views. Super awesome. Also, we should be able to see the vendors here. So if I just click on store vendors, you can see that we have one vendor here, and also we can just change any setting about this vendor. So we can see the sale, we can see the orders, or we can just disable the vendor account. So that's nice and powerful. And also, as you saw, the vendor could very easily fill their form and create their account, but that's not what we want. We want to have a stricter settings here, and that's easy to do. So if you just bring setting And vendor registration, you can just either hide, become a vendor. Of course, you want it to be there, but you probably want to have required approval. So you have to approve a vendor before they can start selling their products. And you probably want to have email verification, so you can just stop spammers. And also you can add additional fields like first name, last name, username, store address, store phone, terms and conditions, so they have to check it. And also you can just set up a page for the term page. That's what you definitely want to do. You can also add your own fields here. Super cool. We are not going to change the settings, but you definitely have to do it for yourself. And now what you probably want to ask is that, okay, now I know how vendors can sign up and how they can add their products, but how are our customers accessing the products? Because there is nothing here to access the products. Or the only way they can access products is, of course, to know the link or maybe through a search engine. But it's just very easy. So we want to customize this front page here. We can just do it with any page builder we want. We're just going to do it with Elementor here. So I can just click on edit page and edit with Elementor. I also put this navigator on the right out of the way. And now we can just customize our front page the way we want. So here, if I just bring WordPress widgets here, you can see that we have a lot of them and we have new ones added by this plugin. So we have vendor store featured products, vendor store top rated products, or recent products, or lists. So you have lots of options here. Also, any widget or blog that works with WooCommerce also works here because the products are actually added into WooCommerce. So for example, we can just add the search, the WooCommerce search here. So we have this product search here. I can just add it here. And if I just update and visit my website, the search is going to just work. So if we just, for example, search shirt, it just brings my shirt. Now I only have one shirt, so it's just bringing this one. But of course your vendors can have much more shirt, and then it will just bring a list of the product. Let's just add another one here. So I can just do it myself because I'm the administrator and I can just add products on behalf of any vendor. So that's super cool. So I can just click on the store manager and products. So let's quickly add another one here and let's just call it shirt 2. And also set the price and the discount price and set a different image here. Fine, then I can just submit it. So now we have 2 products. Of course, this one is not associated with any store, but of course we can do it. So if I just click on edit and store, we can just add the store. So in this case, again, I just want to set it to blue. You can just associate it with any store you want. And now, if someone search shirt here, they get the 2 shirts there. Both of them, of course, created by Blue. That's super cool. And you can also use any other Gutenberg block or any widget that is working with WooCommerce products in general, because again, the products are in WooCommerce. That's super awesome and powerful. So here we can just start again editing our page here. So our home page and Elementor. And just for demonstration, if I just bring the WordPress blocks here and the product list, of course you get the list of your products from any vendor they are. You can control it here, so you get the full power to create your front page with Elementor. We are not going to put time into explaining it, but you get the full power here. You can just create your front page any way you want. You also have a bunch of very cool blogs here for example, showing the featured vendor, the featured products, and anything that is related to WooCommerce or about the vendors themselves. And also, when people search for a product, let's just search for shirt again, you can see that we do not have anything on the right except this sort feature, but you can add it there. This plugin setups very powerful widgets for you. So let's just talk about that. So if we just bring customize and widgets, of course, just says that we do not have any widget area here, but we can just fix it. So if I just bring sidebar here, and for the WooCommerce, we want to have a right sidebar. So now we get this sidebar here that we can just put our widgets there. So now if I just bring widgets, and of course WooCommerce sidebar, we can have access to all of the widgets, including the ones that are added with this plugin. So for example, we can just have filter products by a store, and I can just put it here. And now, as you can see, if I just publish my website, people can filter it to a store. So of course we have only one store, and that's blue, but they can just filter by a vendor. And that's very powerful. You get lots of other widgets that are very cool to use. And there are also very cool add-ons for this plugin. So you can just add to the existing features. And that's it, everyone. Thanks for watching. If you like this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to our channel for more WordPress content. And like always, you can reach our team from the link in the description.